across the sea, from a distant land in the east, he shall appear. A young man, unaware of his own strength. A strength that can both destroy him and bring his dreams to fruition. As it is written upon the stars from long, long ago. A dragon will rise from the earth, conjuring dark clouds to blot out the heavens. A phoenix will descend from above, delivering purple wind with a flap of its wings. Yet even as the sky is devoured by darkness, a single morning star radiates its bright light. That long, winding tale shall now begin.
Shenmue, the animation, coming in 2022. An Adult Swim and Crunchyroll original.
Good evening, everyone. If that doesn't get you in the mood for Shenmue tonight, I don't know what will. Love that trailer. It's so damn good. Anyway, welcome everybody. This is a Sunday night stream to celebrate Shenmue Dojo's 21st birthday. We are now legal to drink in America. How does it feel, James?
Feels really nice, man. Don't need that milk anymore.
No, we do not need the milk anymore. Just as a very quick history tour here. 21 years ago, Andy Bandos set up a place called Rio's Place, which is now morphed into the largest, and I'm going to sound really self-arrogant, whatever you want to call it, the largest Shenmue website, the oldest Shenmue website on the internet. And it's unreal that the place is 21 years old. It's crazy that we've hit 21. It feels strange. But welcome everybody in chat. I'm just going to see who's in there. Ginger Fairy's in, Abdullah's in. Sliver's in, Vajolo's in, I can see Love Video Games is in. Let's have a quick check through who else is in as well. Impact Gaming's in, Peter K. Wilson's in, Sheep's in, Titch is in. I don't know who is over on YouTube yet, but I haven't seen anybody pop up in the chat, but hello if you're watching us on YouTube as well. James, how are you doing?
I am doing very well, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
How are you doing, mate? Okay.
Yeah, all good. I've got the day off work tomorrow. I'm up for some Shenmue. There. I'm loving it. Thank you for the host, Film Dude. Good to see you, Sam. I am over on YouTube as well.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we've got Kid Presentable, Lovitali or something. Lovitali. Yeah. And yeah, Samian over on YouTube. Welcome to the show, guys.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we're going to kick off with a tiny bit of news. Not a huge amount going on. I mean, it's been a while since James and I have streamed. Obviously, you've seen the anime trailer. If you haven't seen it, then I might play it again later. Yeah, you've been living under a rock. It looks insane. We haven't got a release date yet, 2022, but man, oh man, does that look good. I mean, you can watch a reaction video on YouTube of me losing my shit.
Yeah, thanks for Sun for that, picking that video out for us. Yeah,
excellent. Couple of staffing updates that we've got. You may have seen the announcement on Twitter. I think it was yesterday or this morning. I can't quite remember. Spaghetti.
I think it was yesterday.
Spaghetti has rejoined our staff to help bolster our social media and sort of give us some advice on how we stretch ourselves out across the new platforms that are available to us. So welcome back, Spags. I know everybody knows who you are and all the work you've been doing across the platforms over the years. So welcome back. A lesser known name that we have is Hiki from the forums. Hiki is well known for some very in-depth posting on a lot of topics across the forums, but also they did a project for us over on the lesser known social media called Amino, which I must admit I hadn't heard of it until they mentioned it.
I've not heard of it. It sounds like a bloody amino acid.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it, a bit? They literally, the whole project for us, they set the dojo up on there, set everything up off their own. They offered to do the work for us, and it was, again, it's another no-brainer. So Hiki's been putting out content on our social media as well. I'm sure you've seen some bits and pieces flying out over the last sort of 3-4 days at least. And finally, yeah, absolute top quality post. They've hit the ground running, which is exactly what we wanted. And finally is the streams. Now everybody, obviously you tune into us every time we stream. We appreciate it and we love it. But obviously, as you know, Zach left us last month after his final stream, so it left a gap for us. So I'm proud to announce, and I don't know if she's still in the chat or not, that Titch Life will be streaming on behalf of the Shenmue Dojo for the new year. So welcome to the team, everybody. We can't wait for everybody to hit the ground running.
Yeah, 3 great new members to the team there.
Yeah.
Good to start. I know it's not quite the new year yet, but it's nice to start the new year with some fresh faces. 21st anniversary and whatnot. And
exactly.
I think we picked three the best there.
We have indeed.
Yeah.
Manny over on YouTube, good to see you, buddy. How's it going? Another little bit of news. The interview series kicks into gear again tomorrow night at 10 o'clock over on Radio Sega. I had the absolute joy and pleasure to interview John Linneman of Digital Foundry fame. And we talk about how he found Shenmue, Digital Foundry, and also we talk a little bit about the canned remake, if anybody wants to have a listen to that. It also goes out on all other platforms, 9 o'clock Tuesday morning. The YouTube video, etc., goes live, and it'll be across every podcast platform you can think of. So do make sure you tune into that.
In case people aren't familiar with that guy, the John Linneman, I'm pretty sure you probably have seen that trailer of the remaster of the Shenmue 1 and 2 that didn't quite make it to that stage, the remake rather. So he was the guy that put the video out on Digital Foundry, just for a bit of context. And obviously Digital Foundry, I mean, you're a massive advocate of that, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I love Digital Foundry. So good.
Videos they do and stuff.
And John...
Amazing one they did the other day, actually, on Forza. Is that new Forza Horizon 5 or whatever?
That's a really good game, yeah.
They had all fucking 5 or 6 versions of the game that's possible.
It was funny, actually.
Comparing them all.
When I was talking to John, that was the video he was working on. And he was talking to me a little bit about it after we interviewed, which was really cool. John Linneman's a sound bloke. So if you haven't checked out Digital Foundry yet, go and do that. But as I say, the interview's out tomorrow at 10 o'clock, Radio Sega, or 9 a.m. on everything else.
And the following day.
Yes, on the Tuesday. Nice and bright and early for everybody. And then the other bit of news I've got is, I'm sure people may have seen the unboxing series popping up that I've just started. A new video came out this week where I unboxed the Pix and Love Shenmue 1 and 2 edition. So if you want to go and check that out, I'm sure James will be putting the link in the chat any moment now. It's just a little bit of fun, just something that sort of keeps tiding me over.
Wait a second.
What's up?
There you go.
There we go.
That's the playlist, actually, I think I've linked. Oh,
yeah.
Maybe not. That was the latest one.
Check that out as we go. But yes, 21.
Smashing stuff, mate. It's unreal, isn't it, really? I mean, 21 years, if anyone had thought one game that we played when we were 13 is still going to be, the thing that we talk about the most, the thing that we think of every single day. I don't think I'd have believed 21 years later that's all I'm obsessing about still.
It's crazy, isn't it? 21 years. Flipping heck. It's gone quick as well. It's blink of an eye, isn't it?
It's stupid. And if you think another 21 years time, man, we're going to be bloody dead probably. We're going to be like...
You think I'm going to be dead? I'm going to be dead at 55.
I'm going to be 55. Well, I hope not, but it's just mental, isn't it? I was saying earlier, I don't know if anyone knows Dean Stockwell. He's played Al, in Quantum Leap, but he died at 85, just normal natural circumstances. But in my head, he's still, he still looked like Al. I was thinking he still looked whatever he was, 40 maybe. And it just shows you how fast time's going. That the show that you watched when you were a kid, that guy is now or was 85, and
it's crazy.
You know what I mean? I mean, I was thinking, even school, when I left school 18 years ago, that time from when I left school to now is like nothing. But if I add that onto my age now, I'm going to be 52.
It's mental, isn't it?
It's insane.
Absolute mental that it does, and
I still feel 16, so in 18 years' time, what am I going to feel like then? Is still going to feel 16, but in a 52-year-old body.
I mean, I feel 16, but then you look at my hairline, which is now completely disappeared, and it might have an argument with me, but it's one of those things, isn't it? you just...
Cheers, man.
It's gone. Time goes quick as well when you get older as well. Man, doesn't it? Like, it only seems like, what? We've been in charge of this place, what, nearly 18 months?
Well, mate, my daughter's 2 years old. Like, literally this time next month. And that is insane to me. And like you were saying there, it feels faster when you're older. I wonder if for her, because, you know, when we were kids, it felt like days were dead long, and, you know, your summer holidays lasted forever, and school just seemed to be ongoing. You know, considering how long you're at school for, and the grand scheme of things, it's nothing really, is it? It's like...
It's crazy,
I'm thinking if my daughter feels... Well, obviously she wouldn't be able to tell me, because she's got nothing to compare it to until she's older, but...
Spags, Shenmue 3 would have been announced 7 years ago next year. Bloody hell.
That is mental. See, that is mental.
Film dude, yeah, exactly.
You've got to think, before it was announced as well, we'd been waiting 15 years, which seemed, to be honest, that seemed like a lifetime. And you're saying it was announced 7 years ago, which is like half of that time.
Again, yeah. Christ.
Absolutely crazy. How old are you then, Film Dude, if you don't mind? Is that your 94, or is that your date of birth? So you're going to be 7 years younger than me. What's that, 28?
Stop the ride, I want to get off. 27.
Oh, 27, of course, yeah. God, my math's shocking. That's another thing, to be fair. When you're a kid and you can do all this trigonometry and bloody geometry and all that sort of shit, and I can't even -7 off 34 now.
I can barely count to 5 these days. 31 here, yeah.
Nice. I feel like we're all around the same age, but I'm probably just assuming that. What I don't like the thought of is someone watching us and thinking, bloody hell, watching these, you know, old men talk about a game. It will get to that stage. Hey, Uranus, you're right, man. So yeah, we were going to talk a little bit about the dojo's history.
It's a checkered history.
the best bet, if you're interested in the history of the dojo for the last 21 years, if you go on to shenmuedojo.com, at the top, you know, you've got your news, your games, anime, media, community forum, history. Peter Campbell, he wrote an absolutely insane piece. I don't even know how he remembered all this. I don't know where he got the information from. If he had it all in his head, that is insane, because I can't even remember what happened last week. So considering he's written a piece for like the last 18 years or whatever it was when he wrote it, that's crazy. And there's... Yeah, let me link it.
I think he went to...
Obviously all the information talking through the years, and he's got all the pictures of how the website looked, how the forums looked. It's so good that I put it in Shenmue World when we were making issue 1. Well, I put part of it because, just like I say, just because it was so big. You know, this sort of shit. It's just incredible.
It's an absolute...
to read that history, because it kind of... If any of you guys have actually been on the dojo forums over the last 21 years or whatever, you can remember times maybe by reading this piece that I'd forgotten about. Even things like Planet Xbox and, you know, these old hosting sites that hosted the dojo and all this sort of stuff. You forget about all this history. It's just amazing.
I remember when it was hosted by GameSpy.
Yeah.
And it all went over. Hey, Lightspeed, you alright, bud?
Filmed it as the sister's name is in the Kickstarter backers page in the Shenmue World magazine. Nice. I think I remember you messaging me about that, dude. Birthday surprise, yeah. She cried. That's nice. Thanks.
Hey, Grey Fox Game. Hey, Michael Shalland as well. Good to see you. Did we know Sense of Shenmue was going to impact you this much before launch? Oh, no. I don't think you could ever predict it.
I don't think anyone would ever imagine that we'd be here now, sitting here, you know, still streaming the very first game. Just reminiscing, talking about history and stuff like that. You've got no idea. When I was a kid, I was just and just in love with my Dreamcast, just playing Shenmue non-stop back then, you know what I mean? But I don't think you'd ever have thought. I mean, to me at the time, this game was like just mind-blowing. You know, you couldn't imagine anything better in Shenmue at the time, graphically, just everything.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy to me that we went through eras where we were playing things like the Sega Saturn, and obviously the 3D graphics on there were like, oh my god, this is amazing. I can't, that doesn't even compute in my head anymore that you had those thoughts looking at those graphics that, you know, sometimes I was trying to fool my nan that I was playing I was watching football when I was playing like bloody World Soccer 96 on the Saturn.
Oh god, Sega Worldwide Soccer. I've got one of those down there somewhere.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? There's no way it could have fooled her that she was watching an actual football match.
It's mental.
England have just scored none.
It's 18-0.
Yes.
Hey Dan, man, good to see you, bud. Actually, this is a random community bit of news. Dan Man set up a Learn Japanese with Rio page. I don't know if James, Dan, if you're able to stick the link in the chat, because it's a great little community project. Sage over on YouTube, nice to see you. Oh, I'm running into a barrier. Going back to the history piece that you're talking about, James, I think it goes, 2018 roughly?
Yeah, because you were trying to continue in it.
I got to... It's amazing.
At that point.
We still haven't proofed it.
Yeah.
But we got to... I think I got to Shenmue 3's release. So I'm about 2 years behind. Which is going to be interesting.
There was talks about Peter continuing it as well. So...
It would be great if he did, because for continuity's purpose.
Yeah. That reminds me that I'll have to proofread yours again.
It'll need it.
Meant to be proofreading that.
It'll need it. I haven't read it for probably however long.
You have to sign up to like that Grammarly for like a month or something, and just hit one button or whatever you can do.
Yeah.
Intro to Shenmue was through wrestling. See, that's still crazy that we're getting new fans, you know. 2018. Film dude played Shenmue. I'm amazed you could even make it snow in Sega Worldwide Soccer. Joe Kitchen. Moved to Tokyo. We went to dinner with Ryoichi Hasigara, and he's in his late 50s. Everyone in the group had their mobile game devices, and it's really why I decided to embrace gaming at 41.
Ah. Hey, Virtuous Shenmue, or under your previous staff alias, how's it going, my friend? Yes, some very nice textures. For anybody, actually, it's a good talking point. I'm running Streamer 2K HD textures on this as a mod. I've also got the audio restoration, and I have the widescreen patch on here as well. But yes, Streamer's mod on here is fantastic. Like, if you've got a PC version, get it yesterday.
So Joe, you know those Nintendo Switch adverts where everyone's playing on the Switch? There's like 8 people in a park. Is that what it's like? Is that what you mean in Japan?
What have we got in here? You can tell I haven't played this save much. No, I haven't, because I've let the training go.
The other bit of news we're going to talk about, man, is we have just had an update about the Kickstarter documentary.
I completely forgot about that. That's absolutely poor of me.
Here it is, yeah. So basically, they're very close to finalising the actual product now, and then it's going to go to the printers or whatever, the manufacturers, and we're going to get the discs shipping for that if you back that project very, very soon. So I'll read the update just in case no one's familiar. So it says, this is from Adam Scipione. He says, "Hello everyone, post-production process is nearly finished. We've had the Japanese to English subtitles reviewed for accuracy, and we're happy to report that all tweaks have been made and looking good. The bonus content is complete, and the end credits are being prepped before being quadruple checked to ensure nothing is missing. On that note, I ask everyone to please make sure that the Kickstarter backer name is set to whatever you want to be credited as. If you want your legal name, but your backer information is an alias, you'll need to update that so I can recompile the list for the special thanks portions of the credits. Same goes for your shipping information if it has been changed. So yeah, that's something useful to point out there. If you back this project, maybe you've moved address or you want to change some of your answers, get that done ASAP. He says Mark is still fine-tuning the edit, plus we need to finish up the artwork for the box, so there's still time to get all that information updated. And when that is all eventually done, it will be time to manufacture and ship the discs, which from a logistical standpoint will be so much fun and not a terrifying process at all. Sarcastic.
I have been talking to Adam behind the scenes, and they are close. I'm not going to say any more than that, but they are close. So it won't be long before they ship. Probably early next year, if I had to hazard a guess.
Just reading some of the comments. There's a guy called Victory. I hope the next update is, hey guys, they shipped out because when I pledged this project, I was single. Then I got married, got 2 kids, and divorced during all the time I was waiting for this.
What, in 2.5 years? That's fucking good going.
So he went from being single, he got married, he had 2 kids, and then divorced his wife. Sorry if you're in the chat, man. That's quite funny, though.
Pretty good going in 2.5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good news, though.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
No more updates on the vinyls or the music box, but I just assume, like, I'm hearing shit now that if you haven't ordered like a quantity of vinyls, you're not going to get them for a year. Apparently, they're that low on manufacturing vinyls. Shortages and stuff, and packaging shortages. We've heard from Josh.
I know for a fact they've manufactured everything. I think there's a certain impression I got from when I interviewed him. But the problem they've got is getting it over to then ship it.
Shipped from, I think, like I say, shipping boxes are an issue as well. But we're in no rush, mate. I'm never in a rush for anything, to be fair.
I'm not, because I've got...
As long as stuff eventually gets done, I don't really care.
I've got to find the bloody space for it.
Yeah, that's true. Abdullah, any news about Shenmue World Issue 2? I am working on it currently. Well, not currently, but you know what I mean. I'd say I'm about 70% complete. I've had some stuff back from a few people that I was waiting on, so I can get to work on them as well. But yeah, I'm hoping to try and get everything complete. Obviously, I originally said, like, I'm going to do these once per year, but I don't want to get burnt out, so I'm not really rushing it and forcing it. So I'm just naturally adding stuff to it as I go, and yeah, I'm hoping maybe February.
Oh, excuse me.
So you can save your money for your wife or something for Christmas instead.
Or Peter Wilson for that music box that will get you divorced.
There you go. I'd get it, Peter, mate.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen?
It'd be one of those pieces that once they're out there and they've stopped making them, they'll shoot up in value, won't they? Majorly. That's
true. Like, the thing with some of these items is, as long as you don't break them, you're not really losing your money, because you know, it can sit on your shelf for 5 years and then you think, you know, I might sell this now. It's not really giving me the joy that it was sparked when I bought it, and you'd probably be able to get your money back.
I'm going to I'll unbox one when I am.
We're fuckers we are, mate, because we encourage so many purchases of stuff just on these streams. We've got people buying music boxes like 300 quid. We've got Titch buying Super Monkey Ball and she's not even played it.
Nah, you got to do it. You've got to do it. Oh, I haven't got the torch. You can see this is a random save file of mine. I haven't got half the stuff. I think I had this save file to do some screen captures, some other stuff. Ah, sod it. Yeah, buy the music box. Buy it now.
Buy it, mate. So I'm interested, guys, people in the chat, what are some of your memories of the dojo? When did you first discover Shenmue Dojo? Was it on Twitter, or are you an OG? Did you discover the forums back in the day? Have you got an account? Did you have an account from way back? It'd be nice to see some memories from people in the chat, considering we're 21 today.
It's funny actually. You sometimes see on the forums some of the old users pop up. Like Kiyu pops up quite often with the odd comment. Film dude discovered it on Facebook.
What happened to, like, nice. These loads of people I remember from like way back. I don't know where they are now. There was people like Haylong. I don't know if anyone remembers him. Dragon Slayer,
I remember.
Some random numbers, yeah. Miles and stuff like that. Not Miles Prower, but there was another guy called Miles.
There's OL.
Japan Fan. There was a guy called that. You never know, they could have changed the online usernames. Still weird to think it's been 21 years. I remember going to the dojo for the first time around 2003, 2004. It's probably the same as me, man. Even though I wasn't a member on the forum for years, I knew the dojo for a long time. That's nice. Discovered from the old Sega forums back in the DC days, 2001. See, I think when I looked back for my first post, it was 2003, I think.
Mine was I was lurked, but it was 2007. I think I signed up. If I had to put a number on it, but I didn't become regularly active. I think until probably 15. Actually, when Shenmue 3 got announced, I used to go on there a lot, but I wasn't overly active. I was more active on the 500k.
Was the Facebook group around then?
Yeah, I think 500k started around 06, 07. I stumbled across it on.
That's insane to me.
On Facebook. Back in the day.
There was a time where I just literally lived on the dojo. Like, in between playing games, and I was just always on the dojo, replying, refreshing, seeing if someone's replied. Going back to the list of all the forums and seeing if there's any new posts anywhere. There was that time period where every single new post I read. And they were quite busy back in the heydays. Like every time you refresh, there'd be a new post somewhere. Sorry guys, let me go back a little bit. I discovered it back in the early days from like 2006 at least. That's Abdullah. Samin says, I was a lurker on the forum for years. I remember the old site layout with the sections on the left of the page. Nice. Sliver, I discovered it probably in 2017. Oh, hey, Sliver. When I was researching how to win that lucky hit spot in Kowloon.
Ah. Very good. Virtual Shenmue.
Do you guys remember the Sakuragaoka incident? Oh, you mean the Nozomi thing?
Oh, the Nozomi fight.
Yeah. Wonder if that's what he means.
Bit niche. Does anyone remember?
I'm sorry.
I say Spags is saying, anybody remember pre-ordering Shenmue 3 on the game website? Yes, I do actually, because I did it.
Really?
Yeah,
I can't remember that.
Well, it was
it actually for sale?
Yeah, well, it got announced on Sega Europe's page. Nathan will have a screen dump of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Virtual Shenmue. Biggest memory was the Kitsuko article and the fake 360 announcement. Do you know something, actually? Ironically, I sold Adam Dory one of my capsules on eBay.
Is that the extra one that came with the box?
Yeah, I sold him it. And he's a nice bloke, actually. He's still a big Shenmue fan. I'm trying to talk him into coming on the podcast.
That'd be cool.
To see if I can... Because I'd like to get his version of events, actually. Because I think he's got stung a little bit by that article, shall we say. So I'd love to hear...
considering who he is, and like you say, how you spoke to him recently, and
bloody hell!
I just think
Fuck it up. He should have popped up here. All right, Adam. I've been trying to get you on. Yeah, you bugger.
Yeah, I was going to say there must be some truth to what he was saying because
yeah,
he's not a troll, is he? It's obvious.
Adam is a Shenmue fan at the end of the day, and
nice to see you, Adam.
And yeah,
speak of the devil, that is. That's proper.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Yeah. Fucking hell. Adam's a Shenmue fan. There was something to it, whatever that was. So
Monday, he says. So hopefully we'll figure that out.
What do you want?
Like I was saying,
what do you want?
On one of the episodes of the podcast, I was saying to Matt, what could there possibly be now that's stopping you? I'd like to know that, Adam. Is there still an NDA, or what is there that's? Do these things never ever die? You just never speak of it again.
I might be wrong.
Or is there a certain time period that goes by and then it's acceptable? I might
be wrong, but I think Adam still works in the industry or something to do with it, which might be why. I mean, I'm probably overstepping my mark. I'm guessing.
Yeah, you don't have to reply. That's just an out there question. Yeah,
just as being interested more than anything else. But welcome, Adam. It's good to see you around.
Yeah, like Spag says, we've actually got a Shenmue 3 now, so that's kind of what I was saying. Like, what is it that's still so secretive? Maybe. Again, you don't have to reply. I'm just speaking out loud. I don't understand any of that NDA bollocks. So. And you don't, obviously, if you're still in the industry, you don't want to get in trouble.
No, because actually, and this is known because I've quite happily publicly talk about this. I spoke to a couple of guys at D3T about getting them on the show, and they were worried about NDAs and stuff to the point where if I want them on, I have to ask Sega to get them on. So there's obviously, and they still work in the industry in various capacities. So I'd imagine if that could be a similar situation.
Bill Dude says he's loving the Gang Edition Shenmue movies. The first one with me and Bits.
Ah, yes, they're good.
They're amazing, and I think you're going to be pleased with something that's coming. Film Dude.
Good lads, those two as well.
Yeah, man.
I had the pleasure of interviewing them both 2-3 months ago.
That was just cracking interview, that, and the video edit.
Mike did that for us. It's his job these days to edit videos.
Shit, I've just closed the stream. Didn't mean to do that. I've done it again. It's because I've got dual monitor, and if you drag the mouse like right in the top right corner, it stops there.
Ah, okay. Was a lesson from today's stream. You never know who's watching. That's where one of our wives turns up in the chat.
Yeah. Like, I was going to say we don't really badmouth anyone, so it's not really an issue, but... What's that video, man? Oh, there it is. Someone disliked the Gang Edition Gang Entertainment video.
Well, clearly they're a miserable bastard.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the thing with these gang videos. They're very tongue-in-cheek. If you haven't watched them, but you're in on all the Shenmue jokes, you understand all the Shenmue jokes, it's well worth watching because it just rips the living shit out of it. But it's funny. It's just done in a tasteful, fun manner, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And there's like loads of really great video game references in there as well. Stuff from like Metal Gear Solid and...
Oh, excuse me. Based on arcade games. Yeah, it's Metal Gear Solid. I know they use
like Star Wars stuff, lightsabers and stuff.
Yeah, it's just funny as hell. Very tongue-in-cheek. Very doesn't take itself too seriously. And the interview I did is great fun. The first one they filmed, actually, little fun fact, they had to film it in order of the game because they didn't have the facility to edit properly. So they literally had to do scene by scene by scene by scene that way. Whereas the second and third ones, they had access to the editing facilities to do it. Yeah, not in necessarily in order, then order it later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really cool, interesting information. So they were like recording it actually to a VHS, I think.
Yeah, to like legitimate VHS. Now you're a certain age, which most of us are in this stream tonight. You'll remember what VHS are. Go Sega. I am playing this on PC with mods. So I've got Streamer 2K HD texture mod. I've got the widescreen hack. And I also have the audio restoration mod running.
I've actually got some VHSs, some Shenmue ones, like the What Shenmue video.
I've got one on my shelf, actually. You probably can't see it on my screen.
Tempted to just get one down, but I think you all know what a VHS looks like.
Does anyone know where I can buy a Rio jacket? Try eBay. You might be able to pick one up of the insert coin ones. I got an insert coin hoodie, actually, off eBay for like 20 quid.
I'm still selling them, are they? I don't think. Check.
I don't think so. I think all their Shenmue lines are gone.
Game over. Yeah, because they did have. I mean, that's probably like 2 years ago now, but I feel like I remember them having a little sale as they were clearing stuff out. Yeah, bit too late now. Sorry, on the jackets. Probably due another, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
I can't believe how many they've done, man. They've done that original hoodie. Then they did a remake of the hoodie, remake. Then they did a leather jacket, like the original. Then they did a real premium leather jacket thing with like actually patches on. Then they did that windbreaker one.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they, the buggers?
There's one, I think, I don't know if it's the hoodie or that windbreaker, but my wife doesn't like it. She says it looks like colour of poo. Because they're all different types of brown. Like the first leather jacket they did was like really quite dark. Almost looks a bit black, actually. I think probably the ultimate jacket looks the best.
Did the Kickstarter jackets ever release? I know the official ones have gone, but the replicas are still being made, as far as I know. I spoke to Chow, who had... I don't know if he's in chat, actually. But I spoke to Chow a while back. And he was backer of one of them. And he was saying they hadn't... He hadn't got his yet, and it wasn't expected this year.
He was Monaco dinner guy, Chow was.
He was, yes.
For that tier, that included a jacket.
I saw that photo, I think, on the 500k film dude, I think, and maybe on Twitter, unless I'm making that up.
Not sure if I've seen it. I don't go on Facebook. Oh.
I do for our pages, but that's about it. Or wrestling news, actually.
Yeah, I reckon so, Spags. I mean, is that literally the only item that they've not fulfilled yet? So
yeah, I think as far as I understand, that's the case. So everything else is out there.
Sure, they've got intentions. I mean, it's weird actually. That was one that they showed photos of ages ago. If you remember, there was a woman with a winning can or something in her hand, wasn't there?
Looked really good, actually.
Yeah.
They should do a Goro jacket.
$3,000 worth, like. It's like the most expensive jacket in the world.
Goro jacket, fuck. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there that if it was cheaper, I would definitely have backed as well.
I just didn't have
like the Crystal Memories thing.
Yeah, that was really nice, that Crystal Memories thing. I'd love to get my hands on one and unbox it.
Yes. Yeah, you've got no chance, mate, because I think there was like 3 backers or something, so they only ever made 3, and they were $2,500 each. So even if someone does sell it, they're not going to sell it for 50 quid.
Do you need a Japanese Dreamcast to play Watch Shenmue because my boot disc isn't working with it? I've never had a problem with it on a boot disc, Michael. So it might be the boot disc is probably not working, or what Shenmue could be an issue. Surprised you.
The thing is, depending on your Dreamcast, if it's one of the very original Dreamcasts,
Damn it.
boot discs I don't think worked.
There's certain versions that don't work.
Yeah, because it's like that mil CD thing, which means that technically you could get, because there is a Watch Shenmue translated version disc that you can download and burn and then put in your Dreamcast. But you could try that if you got access to like a burning drive thing. You can. I'll get you the link. Sorry, I think it's on the dojo.
Retro Godfather, good to see you. Hannah, a Ren jacket, yeah, definitely.
Yo, Hannah, I'm down for that. As long as it's not $2,500.
Yeah, $2,500. I want full scale bloody mirrors one day.
Yeah. I think we need to push Josh. He's probably the only guy that's capable of doing that sort of stuff.
Let's go get it off the ground.
From what he was saying to you.
Yeah, he wants to do it. It's just getting the a Guizhong suit. Yeah, I'd buy a Guizhong suit. Could do with a new suit anyway, so it fits.
Oh, I've not. Oh, here we go. Fun. I don't know where this is actually. This Watch Shenmue thing. Is this definitely on the dojo these days?
Media should section. Be on there somewhere.
Oh, it was on the media section.
That's not a bad Dark School. Michael, what boot disc are you using? Because I use Codebreaker, and it was that I never had a problem with it. In actual fact, when I sold a Japanese copy of Shenmue 1 and 2 a couple of years ago, I burnt a Codebreaker disc with it, and it seemed alright. I mean, I've got GDMU in my Dreamcast now, so it doesn't matter. Or I've got Redream as an emulator actually on my PC. If you've got a PC and access to that, that's quite good.
I'll link you. Hang on. I don't know if I'm supposed to bloody link ISO things in the chat, but there's the Watch Shenmue English. Patch as created by Shenmue Dojo.
Dan, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Sorry, James. Carry on.
I was just going to say that's the topic link.
Ah, beautiful. All on the old forums as well.
Yeah, so that guy who was asking about the thing, try burning that to a disc and seeing how you get on with that. Because it should be a self-boot thing if you've got a Dreamcast that's capable of playing it anyway. What's the deal? I think it's the late Dreamcasts actually, not the early ones. I think the other ones are the ones that can play that stuff.
Let's go through chat again. Retro Godfather Music Box should be very, very soon now. Wow. I was told it's going to be this month they ship. I'm going to email them anyway, because people you probably remember, we ran a competition to win one. And I need to keep the winner up to date anyway, so I'll drop them an email and find out. So if I do hear anything, it will go on the social media channels. Probably later this week I'll drop them an email just to see how we're going. Dan Man, unwavering support of the community still blows my mind. I got to admit I gave up on Shenmue 3 2008-9 as I thought it was impossible. Then 2015 proved me wrong. And it's still impressive me the community. We never gave up. Yeah, and we need to carry that attitude towards supporting the anime and potentially a Shenmue 4. Simple as that. It's easier said than done now, but we do need to do it.
Going back to like stuff about merch and stuff, it was at one point Sega Shop Europe that were like teasing a second Shenmue line, weren't they? But that never really.
They're behind Shenmue. Jordan, there.
Unless they just meant the duck. Maybe they knew the duck was coming out back then. But it sounded like at the time they were going to do a Shenmue 2 line, which would be cool. Utopia boot disc, yeah, that's the one with the twirling deer, isn't it? Christmas deer thing.
Oh, there you go, James.
Adam says, thanks for your welcome. could write a little follow-up reflecting back on things in issue 2 or 3. Let's go for issue 3, Adam. What do you think?
Are we getting any more of those ducks, do you reckon? I don't know. We ran a poll, actually, to see what you'd get, like what people wanted. I think Ren, Landy were the top 2 from memory.
Yeah. I think they've got to do a Landy one.
Yeah, surely. I mean, I don't know how well they sold the ducks, but you can't... The Rio ones, certainly, they sort of regularly go out of stock, so I'm presuming they're selling quite well. Somehow Sega was willing at one point to fund a full remake of the first Shenmue. They should fund the 4th game. If why isn't D3T the means of creating the full experience? Yes. It's ironic looking back now, isn't it, when you think of the money that went to Shenmue Online and all the rest of it, which they could have recouped. Shenmue Funko, maybe. They bloody should. I mean, I've got a custom one here. Grab it off my shelf so you can see it. So this was a custom one my wife had made. So you can get the light of my screen off of it. But you can see the idea. It'd be a great idea if they did a proper one of these.
A D3T, just going off on that, still involved in anything Sega-wise or not?
I don't know.
I mean, if you just Google D3T, the first link that pops up, obviously, is the website, but then there's like things that come off that, and Shenmue is the first thing that comes off that.
I mean, Shenmue at the time was one of their biggest projects, if not the biggest project they've ever had.
I think it's still the biggest project they've had, surely, right? What have they had? So they've got... Are they doing more Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy? That could be probably big, I suppose.
They did the Mafia remakes as well, and they've just...
Alan Wake remastered?
They were involved in that, yeah.
We're still wanting Shenmue on Switch as well. That's like something that we've been trying to push recently.
Yeah, 86% of participants want it. So, unequivocal.
Really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was like 500 people, right?
Yeah, it's quite a few people.
Which I know is not a lot in terms of sales and stuff, but that is through a niche Twitter account that's got, you know, however many followers we've got.
Can someone at D3 just right click save as Shenmue Switch executable?
I don't know how hard it is to just port stuff to Switch, but everyone else seems to do it, so...
I imagine it's an engine thing as well with the Switch, but I don't know enough about it. Impact Gaming say you don't care about Shenmue. Oh, I don't know. I think there's a bad taste in the mouth of people high up at Sega Japan, I think, with Shenmue. I don't know too much.
The Japanese side aren't keen anymore, are they? But
they're less keen
Europe
than Europe.
Still on board, I'd say.
I think because it... Thanks, Sliver. Good to see you, bud. I think because they didn't... It didn't save the Dreamcast and they spent a lot of money on it. I think there's a stigma attached to it for some people who are quite high up at Sega. 2001, good to see you.
Who has agreed to like the anime? Is that Sega over here or is that Sega Japan?
That'd be Japan.
Right. So they're still doing stuff then. It's not like they've completely written off the whole series. Nothing can be done. They're still allowing things to happen Shenmue-wise, so...
Thanks for the follow, 2001 Elia. Good to see you in chat.
Definitely is done, man. I mean, we've heard loads of stories about, you know, when they sent bloody what's-his-face to shut the game down, Nagoshi-san.
Yeah, wrap up production.
And
you can sort of see the point in that,
like
but... don't care about Shenmue, but I'm investing $1 billion to future projects. I mean, Shenmue could be one of those projects. We don't know. Bearing in mind that we do have this anime coming. If that's successful, $1 billion is a lot of money. The problem is Sega may well just turn around and invest it in more solid IPs that have already not had anything done. Bearing in mind Shenmue has technically already been revived. So that might be in their thinking.
That's the thing, yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Thing. I know people, still want a proper Shenmue remake, and that's still a possibility. But I'm not sure if it's through Sega anymore. I think the best bet we've got is, Lemonaze's Dragon and Phoenix project.
Or if I win the lottery.
Because, like you say, I think as far as Sega are concerned, they've brought Shenmue back, haven't they, into, I was going to say the 21st century, but I don't even know what we are these days. Are we still 21st century?
We are.
Is that how it works?
We're not that old yet.
Yeah. But the original Shenmue on the Dreamcast was at the 21st century back then. So, you know what I mean? They brought it back into this current era anyway. I did read a comment that I was going to read out and then I forgot.
Shenmue can reach an audience like Yakuza or Judgment, they have no choice. Yeah, true. Peter Wilson, I've got a Steam Deck pre-ordered, so that'll have to do. I do have one pre-ordered. I don't know if I'll go through with it. It depends how much money I've got nearer the time, but...
Oh, I remember those things, yeah.
I will probably...
Handheld thing,
yeah, if I've got the money, I will plunge on it, but... They've been pushed back, actually. They're not going to start shipping until February next year at the earliest because of the chip shortages going around.
Yeah. Brenner says Shenmue games to import to Switch, I guess it means like to port to Switch, should not be that difficult. It would just be recording, then controls and QTEs. Yeah, I guess so. It's just, I mean, graphically they've got to run on the Switch, right? There's no frame rate issues or anything. I don't know.
It'd be locked 30, which is exactly what this is, locked 30. So I don't see a problem from that side of things.
And I think it was Abdullah that was on about the anime. If that's successful, we might see some more stuff like statues or figures or whatever of characters. That would be cool.
The anime has a massive amount of potential. Well, Peter, yeah, 2 years since Shenmue 3, right? Friday, we're streaming for it as well.
2 streams in a week from us, guys.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Could we finally get an Xbox version? Well, make some noise about it, you might do. But that's in Deep Silver Hand and I think WiseNet. I don't know the length of the exclusivity deal, but I know when I interviewed Cedric, it wasn't sort of expiring anytime soon.
That's interesting, isn't it? I wonder what these exclusivity deals are, because obviously we got the 1 year one with Epic because you can get it on Steam now, so that's been and done. So what was the Sony one?
I don't know.
What's the longest exclusivity deal that's been done in the past for something? Does anyone know?
No.
Has there been something that's never left the system? You know, because you've even got stuff like Crash Bandicoot that's on the Xbox now, so...
Just going through the chat.
Yeah, like Spag says, usually they last a year.
Yeah, so there must be some sort of time limit on it.
Like a 5-year one. But then again, in 5 years, where are we going to be with Shenmue?
We don't know, do we?
Is Shenmue 3 being ported to another console really going to make a difference in 5 years' time? You want it now, really, don't we?
Let's go through the chat again. So the Xbox version, I'd keep jumping up and down on Twitter about it, and we're going to make a little bit of noise about it as well, just to see what's going on. Anyone know how many copies of Shenmue 1 and 2 sold in the first year of release? No, they never released any figures, but figures floating around on the internet have it between sort of 400 and 500,000 copies. But it's inaccurate. I wouldn't stake a lot of money on it, but 400, 500k copies isn't bad. Bearing in mind as well, since then we've had a lot of sales on the game, etc. as well, so they could well have sold a decent amount of copies there.
Does that not include digital, right? Or does that include digital these days?
It doesn't include digital as far as I know, apart from the Steam stuff.
And how did they incorporate Game Pass or whatever? Because it was on there for a while.
It was on Game Pass, yeah.
Is that considered a sale somewhere?
They get I think they get a lump of money for it. I can't remember how. I don't know how Game Pass works in terms of paying people for it. But it was on there and people were playing it. But the deal ran out because it got taken off. Michael, do Sega own the code Shenmue 3 or rights in any way? Code base, no. WiseNet own the code base, they made it. However, Sega own the right to the IP. So that's part of the reason that other IPs didn't end up in the game, because you'd have had to pay to get them in there. So,
but there is the reason why you see. I was just about to grab my capsule toy thing, thinking it had the Sega logo at the top, but obviously in the game, it does actually say Sega. Where the fuck's my camera? Where that says WiseNet, it does say Sega on the actual capsule machines in the game, and there's some definitely some involvement.
Going through Final Fantasy VII Remake is exclusive to December this year. Yeah, I did see that actually. Impact Games to be watched on Twitch. There's been a lot of people playing Shenmue for the first time. Most of them are loving the game, so that's new fans. Yes, it is. I try and pop into those streams actually because I'm working from home. I can jump in on a lunch break or something if people are playing, because our website scrapes them on Twitch, so we can just pop in and say hello. There are a lot of people picking it up recently. Why isn't it too busy to do an Xbox version?
Hint. Yeah, hint. We wish, eh?
That's right. Yeah, I was about to say they extended it for 6 months because of the Integrati stuff. Shenmue 3 won't happen on Xbox. I mean, being honest, I don't think it will. But who knows? We don't know, but we'll have to see. If it did go to Xbox, it would make absolute sense that they literally turn around and go 1, 2, and 3 Game Pass, the lot of them.
Yeah, that would be sick, wouldn't it?
To be bloody honest,
the thing is, they've got 1 to 8 of Yakuza, so you know what I mean, 1 to 8, 0 to 7.
To be honest with you, I don't quite know why they haven't on PlayStation Plus gone stick them on. 1, 2, and 3. All of them.
I mean, it's time-wise now. I don't think they sound like hotcakes anymore. Any of the 3 games. So stick them on PS Plus. As a bundle, like a big bundle. That'd be amazing. 1, 2, 3 with all the DLC as well. It's how they've got 2 games or 3 games, whatever the PS Plus does. That's just one slot, so they can still have a second one for people that aren't really interested, but
because I think
I'd be interested to see the feedback on that, because a lot of the PS Plus releases, when they come, there's a lot of moaning. You see on Twitter a lot of people are oh my god, so Xbox, I suppose that's just Xbox fans, but there is they'll have not very great games really that they're releasing as the free games of the month. So I'd be interested to see what people think about a Shenmue 3 bundle, or a Shenmue bundle rather.
I think it should happen. Put it on Plus, all 3 of them. I'm surprised they didn't do it with 1 and 2, but then it's in Sega's hands and we don't know what discussions were had behind the scenes, but it's a bit of an odd decision not to help each other out. Surely you want your IP to be successful, whether you're publishing that game or not.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Sony thing's been so odd from the get-go, really, hasn't it? Because of the confusion we had at the start. They're only going to do the marketing and stuff, and it's why? When Shenmue's the most requested game of all time, or whatever, the top of the list, could you not just spare 10 mil and a team or whatever, and let's really get at this game and pump it out and stuff? I don't even know what the marketing was really from Sony's end. What actually happened, or did that just end up going tits up when Deep Silver and stuff got involved?
Possibly. It sounds right, doesn't it, that would have happened. Sam, now that Judgment series is dead after the dispute with Sega and the image rights and the hold of the main actor, Nagoshi's exit from company, what better IP could fill its place? Well, yeah, I mean, funnier things have happened. I think the Yakuza series itself is in good hands. But
wouldn't it be a pisser? Obviously, he's gone to that Chinese company, but wouldn't it be a pisser if he ended up at WiseNet?
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
The guy that shut Shenmue 1 down ends up making Shenmue 4. Never going to happen, but that's just a funny thought.
Oh, I love it. We have some snow.
Yeah. Or he gets the... Oh, that looks amazing. Where he gets the guy... Well, the Chinese company that are obviously throwing millions and millions around and says, just chuck New Suzuki 10 mil. NetEase, that's it,
yeah.
Or 20 mil. Let's make it 20.
Well, I did try and win the Euro Millions at 187 million, but it never happened because I'd have bunged you a few quid.
Yeah.
Video game show, let's go. Nice to see. I've never seen you in before. I don't think I have anyway.
James. Yeah, that's James. How's it going, mate? You okay? Believe it or not, dude, we're celebrating our 21st anniversary tonight.
Yeah, we're old enough to drink in America.
Just horrible, isn't it, pal?
We're now old as hell.
I remember, mate, turning bloody 17 was, when you were first starting to learn to drive. We're like 4 years past that.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Ooh. Peter Wilson finished Lost Judgment recently and loved it. The stealth, the stealth was Yankee. I will say that, but yeah, the rest of it was pretty damn good. Actually, thoroughly enjoyed it. I
still only play the first one, man. Put like 10 hours into it and I never touched it again. But I was enjoying it. But I know what you mean with the stealth sections. They're always like the worst bits, aren't they?
We're all good, bud. Video game show, we're all good. I like Shenmue after New Year when they're in their different outfits. Yeah, they come out in their kimonos, don't they, at New Year? I think my date in this game, this save anyway, is nowhere near that. And
I love how they incorporated the date and stuff, with the kimonos, with the cherry blossom tree back in April, which is insane. Christmas, of course, that you run through. There's a lot of people, film dude, if you play the game naturally, you're never going to see bloody January, really. So you kind of have to do the day skip, don't you, to see stuff.
I think when my original save on my Dreamcast, I think it was mid-January when I went to Hong Kong. So I got Christmas and the New Year stuff, which I thought was really cool. Peter Wilson, new outfits. So at New Year, they come out in the women come out in their kimono outfits to celebrate New Year. Courtesy of Phantom Riverstone from Switch.
That shot especially. I wish images popped up in chat. That would be cool.
Yeah.
It's only one day as well, isn't it? So if you miss that day, you don't even see the kimonos.
No, you don't.
Like say if you were doing the day skip.
Okay, this is interesting. Can you shed some light on Sega's other income where the massive profits are coming from? It's not like they're releasing 2-3 games a month. Is it Sega Toys department? I don't know. Like, we know the Yakuza series is successful. Because they keep pumping them out, and they can pump them out relatively cost effectively because they reuse a lot of the same assets, so they've obviously got a good profit margin on that. I don't know about other games, whether the Sonic games have made them a shed load of money, but I really don't. I don't know because other companies have a sort of quite a obvious model. Is probably the way I'd put it. I'm not quite sure how Sega's works.
Sega, there isn't really any there's no scummy tactics. It's not like there's an EA system of generating an income. There's no, even I don't know about Football Manager. Is there like a?
It's published by Sega though, and it sells a bucket load over here.
It's not like a buy packs of cards and shit like that in Football Manager. Is
no,
there?
Total War. Yeah, Total War's bloody good actually. In fairness.
But yeah, there is the Sega Toys department, and I do think that is pretty successful because you've got, like VTEX type computers and stuff that they make for kids and toys and all that sort of stuff. Planetarium sort of star machines I've seen. I've just bought a bloody dartboard thing as well that I think has some sort of link to Sega. And obviously they've got the arcade market as well. I don't know, it doesn't seem to be doing that well because of all the arcades that have shut, but obviously that is with COVID, so maybe they were getting a good income from that prior to COVID.
2 Point Series is doing well. 2 Point Series is good actually. If you like Theme Hospital, you'd like that. It's quite good fun. actually. Dan Man, yeah, Sonic must keep doing well, to keep pumping them. Yeah, well, exactly, it's making money.
I suppose they're just like any other video game company, though, aren't they? They're not making consoles, so there's no commitments there. If you look at a company like Rockstar, well, maybe that's a bad example because they've got that online stuff that's making a shit ton of money. But
don't get me fucking started on Rockstar at the moment.
Like, just random companies like, okay, Quantic Dreams, yeah. How are they making an income now? Because Detroit has been and gone, maybe like 3 years ago.
Heavy Rain
had a game
been and
since
gone.
then. Yeah. So, and you know, if you think of it like that, at least Sega are pumping out a few games a month, aren't they?
So, what's your thoughts on likelihood of Shenmue 4? Ooh, I still think it's going to happen. Like, don't get me wrong. I think they got to have some difficult conversations around Shenmue 4. But we have the anime, which, if that does well, I think makes that conversation a lot easier. A lot easier.
I think that is the basis to go off of at the moment. It's got to be the anime. And if that's successful, it just gives Shenmue 4, you know, much more of a chance.
And I'd also add to it that they've got a code base, they've got an engine which they can reuse, polish it, so they're not going to be spending all this money building a code base, getting things off the ground. That's done, that work is done, so they can really focus in on the game and the content of the game, which does make things an easy sell in terms of a cost perspective. The problem, and what might be prohibitive, is what budget do they want? Because Cedric said they were looking for a bigger budget, and he said that publicly on Twitter. It's not like he said it privately to me or anything. It was public. He said it about a year ago. And is that prohibitive? I don't know. But the anime, that's the whole point of the anime, is to get people to get eyes on the franchise. That's the whole point. When we did the stream, they were talking about getting eyes on the franchise. People who haven't accessed the games, who might find the games a little bit difficult to access because of their pacing, because of the nature of them. It might well bring them in.
I wish we didn't have to think of Shenmue like that. Do you know what I mean? That because of how niche of a game it is and the type of game it is, it can't be successful. I just wish people were more willing to give the games a go. You know, I mean, I think it was successful enough on the Dreamcast in terms of people buying it, right? It was just that they budgeted way too much, that it didn't make much money because it couldn't.
I also think Shenmue gets an unfair reputation based on the first game, actually. Because Shenmue, as a franchise, forklift simulator, that's what I all think.
Yeah.
But actually, if you get, and I don't mean this to sound derogatory to the first game, but the first game is a lot slower paced. So people who weren't that invested in it, didn't get into it, won't go on to the second game, which arguably has the better content, in my view.
Yeah.
So it gets the franchise gets an unfair reputation on that basis for some, for part of it, not all of it, but for a part of it.
See, the kind of problem people have got as well, not to say anything bad about Shenmue 3, but if people are experiencing Shenmue 3 before the first two games, even that's giving them a different opinion on how, we know and love the series. Maybe people playing Shenmue 3 might be like, I don't see the appeal in this. Like, why do people rave about this being like the greatest video game ever made? Which you can't really base off the third game, in my opinion. You've got to go back to the original game and get your mind for this is like a new player. You've got to get your mind back in 1999 as well, and seeing this game for the first time. what are we on now? 23 years ago, 22 years ago.
Yeah, 22 years.
You can't. It doesn't even add up how this worked on a video game system back in those days.
Let's look at some of the chat
So
again.
I think you've got to get the person to think that as they're playing it. It's a bit difficult these days, I think. I don't think people go in. I think just look at it, oh, this looks shit, this plays shit, this is horrible.
I think it's modern standards don't help it as well. I think because people now, it's all guns and pew pew and running and killing, and it's all very fast paced. It doesn't fit the mould now, but
I remember even back in the day, my cousin was watching me playing. He's like, "When are we going to do something?" Like, even in Shenmue 2, he was watching me play the start of Shenmue 2, and there's a bit like right at the start where you're speaking to the Poison Brothers, and then it looks like they're going to kick off. He's throwing a bottle on the floor, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're getting into it now." And then Joey comes and breaks it up, and then it's like 20 minutes until the next thing happens, and he's like, when are we going to do something in this game? So I think even back then people didn't, people with that kind of mindset weren't able to get the game. I don't know. It just takes a certain mindset, and that is our problem. I think it's too niche for its own good.
Yeah, I think it's a bit niche. I mean, Demented Man's making a good point here. Bully hasn't got a sequel. Yeah, it was arguably,
that's from Rockstar.
Yeah, and that's from Rockstar, and it's quite a well-known franchise, and it's been talked about for years. It hasn't got a sequel.
Yeah. I think we are, in a sense, lucky for what we have got based on everything we just said. We have got 3 games. We've got a 13-episode anime coming. We are lucky in that sense that the game didn't flop after the first game. We saw a sequel, number 2.
Got 3 eventually.
For better or worse, I mean, I think from what we played and saw in Shenmue 2, I think that has created this longing for the rest of the story. I think if Shenmue 1 had failed and they never made a Shenmue 2, I don't think we'd be as invested, because up until that point you just got Ryo heading to Hong Kong on the boat. If you take what happens in Shenmue 2, I think that is where things change. And you'd want to know what's going to happen next because of what happens in Shenmue 2, because it's just so storytelling is on another level. And hopefully they can represent that quite well in the anime. Hopefully they can do it justice, and I think from what we've seen they are going to.
Bloody good. Looks bloody good. Looking at Crybear makes a point, Shenmue is everything gamers say they want, but when it's there most won't buy it. I think you're onto something there. But actually it's something I've talked about in my next interview that's coming out, that games now, especially open world games, they're as big as it's who's got the biggest world. Actually, why don't games expand inwards? Why don't you have a nice, dense, lived in area that you can feel, you can walk around? Why? Yeah, these worlds getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but you'll spend 10 minutes going around a wasteland with nothing in it. Wouldn't you rather walk from one end of a town to another with people, with things you could pick up, things that you could do? I don't know why games haven't gone that way. And I'm not just saying this because of Shenmue as a whole, I'm saying it as a gamer.
Yeah, and I'm thinking even the Assassin's Creed games, there is little towns interspersed between all these bloody areas you've got. You've got 100 different locations in the game, but there is little towns within them. But because there's so many of them, and there's no life in those little towns anyway. So even if you just designated yourself, you could never remember which town is which.
It's I'd like games to go inward rather than just getting bigger and bigger. Go inward and make it feel that way. Having a look. Gamers are in it for popularity. We want to be pandered to. Yeah, I mean that's part of social media as well. The Rockstar thing deserved 100% to be called out because it's a shitstorm. Absolute piss take what they've released, and I'll leave it there.
But I think that's insane from Rockstar, even that they've got that, especially with the GTA series. Why are they not doing that in-house kind of thing, and making sure the product? Who's quality controlling these days?
I know. But
people, game testers back in the day, people had that as a job to game test, make sure that nothing shipped with a bug. And just look at everything that's shipped. You've got stuff that's in the code that people are finding, stuff in the bloody notepad documents that or whatever I was reading about. I don't know. It's just insane that something can get shipped, printed on a disc. Maybe I don't even know if is there a physical of this game.
There will be. I've got it on order.
How is that making on a disc in people's hands? What is? They not got one game tester at all. The people that are making it, do they not think, oh shit, we better delete these confidential file things off the disc?
Flying Waffle's got it right. I'm good to see you in chat, actually. It is a disgrace. What they have released is an absolute joke. They shouldn't have released it. I feel sorry for the developers, because they probably, and I'm assuming this, would have gone, this isn't ready, we cannot release it. But when Impact Gamers got it, when they're making so much money off GTA 5, they're not going to give a fuck. They're not going to care. They're just going to go money, money, money. That's why we haven't got GTA 6. Partly. But, I mean...
I bet that even despite all the headlines and the news and stuff, I bet people are still buying it.
Oh, of course they are.
Because it's GTA.
It's the same with Cyberpunk. It sold 15 million copies. Now, I don't know how many of those were returned, but it made enough fucking money that CD Projekt Red, alright, got a bit bad press.
Yeah.
But until people actually vote with their wallet, it's not going to matter. I mean, I think, is it 0.5 on Metacritic? It got the GTA re-releases. I'm sorry, if you're not listening to that, you're blind. But yeah, it's going back into gaming. I think it's it's all now. I want it now. I want pandered to now. If I don't get what I want now, I'm going to get upset about it. And you see it all over social media.
DLC is a bad thing as well, because people can get what they want now. To say if previously before you spent time and unlocked something, if they give you an option to pay for it, you're seeing people paying for it, aren't you? Just to unlock something now because they want it now. I miss those days of naturally unlocking stuff.
I mean, yeah, I do. Actually, Super Monkey Ball does let you do that, in fairness.
Yeah. Sega games kind of have still stuck to those principles, haven't they, really?
But even they're starting to go that way. I mean, you look at Lost Judgment. That's got DLC
what have they
now.
Done in that?
They've got unlock a new fighting style in there through DLC.
Really?
Yeah, and I just sit there and I don't like the DLC model, but it's here to stay.
Yeah, it's making money, so why would they get rid of it? Damn, man. To be fair though, if there's, before you even see that that's a problem, people will just buy stuff willy-nilly.
Yeah. I've got it on pre-order, the physical copy, and I'm sat there going, well, I'll probably keep hold of it, but it's annoyed me. Like, how? I know.
Part of the fun is experiencing all the bugs as well, I suppose.
Apparently,
you want to see it for yourself.
I know D3T copped a lot of shit for the re-releases, but I will say they did this in around 6 to 7 months, so I'll leave that there. But when you consider these weren't that bad compared to the shit show that's just come out.
I saw a good, I don't know if it was a GIF or a video, but there was a guy, he was bowling a ball down, bowling ball, sorry, down the alley, and it hits the pins, bounces back, hits him in the face and kills him.
What should we say about people who want to... Yeah, and you're right, you are right. Video games, they are good.
Yeah, that's a good point, to be fair. I mean, D3T got a lot of shit, really, when these were released, because... I mean, to be fair, if you don't get that day one patch, they are a little bit buggy. How you've got the camera that doesn't...
Yeah.
Sometimes you enter a cutscene and the camera's fucked. Basically. But to be fair, for what they did, and they were under time pressures.
Weren't they just?
Exactly, we know that for a fact now, just how little time they actually had. Going from that remake that they were working on to you're just going to have to pump something out. And, unfortunately, that is the era of gaming at the moment, and it's cost-effective nature over quality, really.
Band back up. Shenmue Definitive Trilogy coming soon. Don't. Thanks, Crybear, for popping in. Good to see you as always,
See you,
my friend.
Cheers, man. Hopefully it's
Cyber,
nothing
I
we
can't
said.
bloody read.
That seems quite...
I can't
I am
bloody
going to
read.
leave now.
Fuck you, I'm off. Dan Man's right. Say what you want about Shenmue 3, but at least it wasn't a buggy mess. Yeah, it wasn't a buggy mess.
Yeah. Dude, to be fair, from... Shenmue 3 had like some bad press on like the faces and the still eyes and or whatever, the dead eyes. I just wish people would go back and say, actually guys, you know what? It was released. We were looking at stuff that was like 2 years ago when we made these judgments. It's not a single bug in Shenmue 3 as far as I'm aware.
It's probably tiny ones, but it's nothing that's going to
Maybe
make a
tiny
big
ones.
issue.
Maybe I don't know. Has anyone ever said the game crashed for them?
I've never had it crash. Only when I've been...
how much is going on in Shenmue 3 as well, and the small team that made it, I think they did an absolutely insane job, really.
I've never had it crash, except for when I've been on here on my PC doing like captures and stuff for the site using the debug mode, which you sort of take that on the chin, don't you?
Yeah, and going from what they were, people were saying about it 2 years prior to it being released, and then what people have experienced of the game since, and basically me and you and most people are saying, I just wish there was more, more story.
Yeah.
That's the biggest concern. Do you know what I mean? Considering what people were saying about it prior to that.
I wonder if...
True. I know what you mean, Dan Man. Some fighting issues.
Yeah. Joe, Sam, I completely agree with you. Wisner got flipping slated on for the Shenmue 3.
Yusuke getting death threats and stuff.
Yeah, and there was all sorts of fun and games. And after the Rockstar debacle, yeah, all right, I see your point. Definitely, it's. Yeah, QTEs in runners, Jesus Christ, you got to have reactions of death threats. Yeah, the Epic stuff video game show. People sent Wisner death threats over it. That's how ridiculous it got.
Clicking a different icon on a desktop, that never made any sense to me. That didn't.
Like, fucking ridiculous.
I only found one glitch after one of the fights with the Red Snakes in their hideout. Instead of going straight to the hotel, the game didn't teleport Rhea there, so he had to manually walk inside the hotel. Exactly.
Well, that could have been a lot worse, couldn't it?
Yeah. I just think for... I don't want to say like an amateur team, because obviously you've got Yu Suzuki at the helm, but you've got to think of this team of maximum 30 people by the end of it. So I think they started off with like 5 or 6, maybe up to 10 people, yeah. And at the end of it, obviously, they had a few more people. But considering such a small team, and the game that we got, the graphics, how everything's connected, they've still got that. I'm pretty sure everything's still on. What did they refer to it in Shenmue 1 where everything's on like a thread? It's being held by a thread, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The game code's that crazy.
Yeah.
For them to continue that on a different engine, with a different team, smaller team, and still get that Shenmue feel with being able to talk to this guy at this point in the story and he's got something different to say, keep talking to him again, he says something else. To have all these files and stuff linked to all these characters, different parts of the story, the code must be just as insane, really. And I think you've got to applaud them, really, for it not crashing occasionally at all.
I mean, Spags has got it here that they've never seen a gaming press treat a game as badly. I mean, yeah, from the offset, they just went after it. Like, we're going to do a podcast episode on it eventually.
I don't understand why. I think
they lost their ming for one reason.
It's weird though, because Shenmue should be a respected thing. The actual true journalists, like people that you've spoken to, Matt, like John Lineman, who can appreciate the games. I know some of these are fans, so they are going to be a bit biased, but I don't understand this new media mentality that obviously it's clickbait, obviously they're generating an income by doing it, but it's saddening, really, that games like Shenmue aren't doing as well as they could do because of people just looking to get a headline that says like, Shenmue scam or whatever they were saying, Yu Suzuki scam, and it's putting people off something that isn't even a thing.
I'm going to flip the argument a little bit here because let's sit on the other side. The Epic deal was badly done, like badly communicated, like it was awful, and that did not help things. And also, Epic at the time was the topic of conversation, but I still don't see the issue with it. I mean, Sam, I've just seen your comment about the physical release. Yeah, I see your point because it should have been a physical, but at the same time, I don't know if they'd have got it on a DVD. But
is that the PC physical? Yeah, they've got no chance, have they? Maybe on a Blu-ray. I don't know how big is the game.
It'd have gone on Blu-ray.
I know they touted 100 gig, didn't they? But
it'd have been on a Blu-ray.
No, honestly, mate.
PS4's
When's
Blu-ray.
the last time you bought a PC game? When's the last time you bought a PC game on a disc?
Well, yeah, I know. I get it, but I also understand why people would have been annoyed. I don't think that's unreasonable. Actually, I think what was unreasonable was the mass fucking shit. I mean, the Epic Store are obtrusive with the data, etc. So that criticism, yes, I get it. But to warrant death threats, as we say, what are people on? Like, and the thing is, it was a storm in a teacup, but the media made a massive meal of it because it was Shenmue, in my view. Okay, and Dan actually wrote, game journalists say they want games to be treated as art, yet complain when old games are dated, meaning they treat... Yeah, exactly. And also it's inconsistent in reviews, I think, because like Forza 5 is an excellent game, right? It's a really good game. I've got it on Gamer Pass.
That's a good point, by the way. Just read what Samian said there. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I get that, Sam. Exactly. But
maybe CDC.
Forza is open world, massive open world, and it's being praised for it. But there's inconsistencies in game reviews. Far Cry 6, which is just more Far Cry, which is massive open world, got criticised for the same thing. Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw your consistencies?
Just love to hate stuff, don't they? That's all.
And
so cynical these days.
And I like Forza. It's really good. It's an excellent game. I've spent hours on it since I picked it up on Game Pass. But
a lot of the time you can't win, can you? Like you're saying there with the Far Cry, if they changed the gameplay, went a different route, people would be saying, "Oh, why I've changed something that isn't broken," kind of thing. And
yeah. But Spags, you're right. Deep Silver they did land that one in the shit big time. Cynicism gets clicks, yeah, absolutely.
It's a shame, I think. What was I listening to the other day? Something about how... Who was on about that? Who you can never have that experience anymore of something being released. Oh, I think it was, it's some Michael Jackson thing I watched. He was saying back in the 90s, early 90s, was the true era of stuff being released. You've got people queuing up outside video game stores, queuing up outside HMV, trying to get music CDs, games on day one. The minute they're released, they're running into the store, grabbing the game, taking it home. What have we got now? Just click a button and it's downloaded. We're never going to get that experience again where there's real excitement to something being released. I remember the Dreamcast being launched, and at school I was so excited the whole day just to get to go get my brand new Dreamcast, my stack of 4 or 5 games or whatever in a VMU. There's none of that anymore. You just order it on Amazon and it's here now. It's sat on the doorstep. There's no excitement.
It's leaked as well. It's all leaked as well. Like when we did the PlayStation show, one of my biggest reactions to it was Knights of the Old Republic. I know it was rumoured, but it hadn't been leaked. So my reaction to that was like, oh my god, this isn't, because I love that game. It's really good. And That's missing now because everything gets fucking leaked months ahead.
That's it, man. We used to read magazines, see screenshots of games. Used to buy, like Flying Waffles just said there. Used to go into a Tesco to buy a magazine to take home to look at screenshots of a game that's not releasing for like 3 months, and that was your only idea of how the game is going to look, how the game's going to play, is based on like these still images. And then, you know, you could go in a shop, pick a game up based on the box art. All of that's gone now. You go on YouTube for trailers, gameplay trailers, watching someone stream the game, play it before you even think about buying it. You know?
Yeah.
The whole experience for me, that's probably why I don't play games as much anymore, just because there's no real excitement to playing a game. Shenmue 3 being announced at E3, that is my last big gaming excitement. That ever since then, I don't know.
Golden era of gaming is all much gone. Yeah, I think in the traditional sense it has. Probably just...
even these stories. I remember being outside game at 5 AM for Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh man, what a game. 3's better, but yeah. At least I think 3's better.
BCD says that I did go to a midnight launch for Final Fantasy. What's that? 10V? Is that 15?
15, yeah.
It was only about 10 people or so it was nice. Yeah, nothing like the 90s. I know they still kind of do it a little bit for like certain games.
PS3 was last gen. You get that feeling you talk. Yeah, I mean, I queued up to get my PS3. Virgin Megastore back in the day.
Yeah, social media. I think that has it's killed everything, and that's where we're getting all these millennials from. You know, people kicking off if you word something slightly that sounds derogatory for someone. I mean, you've got to really watch what you say these days, because even stuff that you don't even mean, people are calling you out on.
You get cancelled.
Like, what? It didn't even enter my head, and you've twisted the words to make it sound, yeah. And you know, I think it's all down to social media. There was nothing like this before things like Twitter, and I know you've got to, you know, especially Shenmue Dojo or whatever, we've got to use these outlets to get information across, because that is how information is being sent around the world currently. That's just the era we're living in. But it's just a shame that these things are happening where every single person has got such a voice, and I don't know, I mean, I appreciate people having a voice, you know, freedom of speech and stuff, but there's also the negative elements to that as well. Like, someone could post something that they're excited about, they want to share to people, and then there could be 1 or 2 people that say like, oh, that's shit, mate, you know, haha, that's wank, you know, and it's got that bullying mentality that maybe you only had at school, that's why you were so, you know, back in the day, you were scared of showing that you were a nerd or a geek or whatever, you know, talking about games and stuff maybe was less, you know, acceptable back in those days.
Training.
And the same can be said on Twitter. You know, you're trying to share your love of stuff to the world, and then you've got these bullies, and I don't know if I'm trying to make a point there or not.
I think the biggest thing I think you've got with social media, like, and I'm going to pick up actually what Dan Mann's talking about in a minute, is
yeah.
Is
there's also that element
a lot of
well.
negative people do go on there and talk shit, but actually the majority of people are quite reasonable, but majority of people don't voice these things, and they probably should. But on a sort of a different note, sort of picking up what Dan Mann is saying, we wouldn't have got Shenmue 3 without social media. Ever. Because we made such a racket on social media, we got it.
There is pluses and minuses all the time to everything, can't there, really? So it's one of those things we're dealing with. You know, things in the world are constantly changing. You know, technology, it's always been advancing. So you could, you know, maybe our parents were the same, thinking about the internet when it very first released. Or or stuff prior to that.
Also, as a sort of a point on social media, you look at the anime, which obviously came out to wrap like the announcement for that obviously came out to really, real positive praise. That was everywhere on social media. People were talking about it, so it does have some good power into it. But I just think sometimes people are quite easy to just jump on a negative train because they can, and they can get away. And it's faceless. You can say what you want on social media these days, and you get away with it. Like half the shit I see, I'd never say to someone in the public because I get knocked out.
That's been the problem with the internet, though, all throughout the last 2 or 3 decades, or however long the internet's been a thing. You're playing someone online and they're calling you a noob, and
Hey FP, good to see you. Band backup. I don't think I've seen.
There's always
seen
these things with the internet.
Yeah, I think.
Hi, dude.
Negativity sells. Yeah, it does. It does, doesn't it? But let's bugger off social media because it's annoying.
Yeah. I mean, when people like some of the comments and stuff, I see people's points and opinions and stuff, and it does. Like, I don't know, did Shenmue 3 sell more because of the negativity, or did it sell less? What do you think?
It's probably a bit of both. It probably levelled itself off, I reckon. I think in some instances it wouldn't have sold as well. In other instances it would have. People would have been interested to go, oh, is it really that bad? And then bought it.
You were saying when you were speaking to Cedric, you think if people had got the message across better, the media had to chat all over it, if maybe Awesome Japan or whoever the team was managing the Kickstarter had presented the information better back when the Kickstarter was a thing, perhaps we would have made 10 million at the Kickstarter.
And Cedric openly admits that. He's very credit to Cedric. He's open about that. That's a big thing they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lightspeed, you're right, because people jumped, because the anime trailer is bloody excellent, but you're always going to get some knobhead come out and just have a go about something. You just are.
Yeah, Abdullah, by the way, we are streaming on the Friday, this coming Friday.
We are indeed. It will be an 8:30 start again, and I will be partying. It's a Friday night, so...
My posture's so bad.
Yeah, exactly, Spags. You're right. Better communication would have helped, but the press didn't exactly help the issue either. Completely right. Lloyd Parker. Thank you for the Orion. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for dropping in.
No, man. Yeah.
21 years. Thank you. Yeah, it's bloody crazy. This place is 21 bloody years old.
Thanks for doing your part as well, man.
Yeah, been around for a long, long time.
Yeah. FIFA was messaging me, beating me 2-0 at half time, and then I was 3-2 up, 75th minute. And then it was connected.
If anybody remembers the stupidity of the slacker backers won't receive rewards. Oh, yeah. Spags, we're gonna do a podcast episode on this at some point. We just need to get our research in a row because it's going to take us a while to do all the research.
We need your head for that, Spags.
Because you've got like a photographic memory for this stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that would be a good episode to break down all the controversies and just actually prove things that actually did happen. Like the epic controversy. We can maybe highlight some of the stuff that maybe they did get right and maybe some of the stuff that they didn't, and just really not to really call people out media wise. We're not going to name names and say like this guy's an absolute arsehole for saying this, but just to show people that perhaps heard these rumours and these stories about the Kickstarter and Shenmue and stuff, and just inform them about actually what actually happened and what the I suppose it's a bit late, could have done with that information out 2 years ago, but I just think it'd be nice to look back on all that sort of stuff and actually say, this is actually what did happen, from what you heard.
People want to read something about it, actually. Megavisions Martin over there did a big article with James Hamill, actually. If you want to have a read up of some of the articles that were complete bullshit, basically. Go over there. That's well worth the read.
Fun, actually.
Never forget about the Kickstarter back as he dropped out at the last second of occupying the 10k rewards. Yeah, you get that with every Kickstarter. Just it's a bit harsh, really. More active since joining like Dragon and Phoenix team. Yeah, Dragon and Phoenix, man, that looks so good. Like crazy good, in fact.
Pretty sure that's the one.
That's the bugger, yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
Thanks, go. Take it easy, bud. We're probably going to go for about another 10 or 15 minutes ourselves. In fairness, I'm going to get to Chai, I think, and then maybe Jimmy.
Okay, dude.
And
sounds
then
good. It's been nice, just talking about things, talking about the history of the dojo. It's just always nice to just discuss the series and stuff in general.
Did you miss any news about the future of the dojo, BCDC? You didn't, actually. You've seen all the staffing updates, etc.
Yeah.
The interview series has got an episode out tomorrow on Radio Sega at 10 o'clock in the evening, at 9 in the morning on Tuesday. I interviewed John Lineman, so that's coming out this week. It's the last one for the year, though. I'm taking a bit of a break from it, but I've got one lined up for the new year already. So I'm just going to have a nice break. 2
other podcast episodes in the works, so we're going to do one probably next week, man. We're going to take, I think it was episode 4, where we covered Bailu Village and like went deep into the story and what actually happens in that half of the game. And we're going to do the Niawu half that we've kind of been holding out on while we've been covering other topics, but we're going to work on that next week. And then we've actually been... I don't think it matters so much in this chat, but I don't think they've announced it yet, but we are going to be doing a Winterfest show this year for Radio Sega as well. Like a nice Christmas sort of episode to end the year out with. So you can look out for 2 podcast episodes coming up soon. And then I'm still working on issue 2 of the magazine. Like I said earlier in the stream, that I was probably about 70% complete with that, and I've just had articles from 2 different people that are really cool. I can't wait to get stuck in on them.
There's some good stuff in there.
Kind of like
some really good stuff coming.
Edit that stuff in, and I think we're good to go with issue 2. It's going to be a really good one this time around. I've got some really nice extras planned as well.
Let's have a look at the chat. Have we heard about the project where people are completely remaking Shenmue 1? Is that different to the Dragon and Phoenix project, FP? Dan Man, sudden interviews have been great. Yeah, thank you. I've really enjoyed doing it. Ironically enough, it's a year to the day since I released the first one with Ryan Payton.
That's insane as well, isn't it?
A year since I released that.
I just think how much we've done in a year as well. It's pretty cool.
That was, my first interview released a year ago. That's mental. And Ryan's sound, actually. I haven't spoken to him for a while, but Ryan Payton is a real sound bloke. Gave us a lot of his time as well, and gives a lot of time for the series, actually. He's always talking to Yu Suzuki about the series and how to push things forward. He's a vital cog, shall we say, in the Shenmue machine. We've got a lot of time for him.
That's an interesting question from Michael. What would you say if you knew Shenmue 4, 5 and 6 were going to be released, but the anime was going to finish the story first?
I would quit everything and hide.
Yeah. Would you... I suppose you don't have to watch the anime.
No, you don't.
Come off social media for the next 10 years.
We can't,
until you played Shenmue 6.
We bloody can't, can we? As blooming dojo owners, we can't. We're going to have to just suck it up and deal with it.
I suppose if we're getting the games, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
Best of both worlds. The interview's been really informative. The dojo has really come leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. It's easy to let things settle when things are quiet, so I really appreciate it. I think that all stems back to Peter Campbell taking over, like you say, the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I think Peter taking over, actually reinvigorating life back into the website and the forums, and some of the stuff that me and Matt have done to try and maintain that level of quality. I think.
Yeah, I think.
I'm personally proud, to be honest. The last couple of years of the dojo.
Peter gave us a real solid foundation for us to push on. Real solid foundation. Have a look at the chat again. Have we visited Debuita Street?
Says,
I haven't, no.
How do you feel about some of the differences between the anime and games events? So obviously means like seeing Chai in the dojo, like the
I'm looking forward to it.
Story elements.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think a nice fresh take on it, as long as they don't veer too much and redo the story in a completely different direction.
I mean,
I'm okay with it.
Seeing like the karate tournament, which is it's been talked about for years and years. That sort of thing's epic. That's the sort of stuff I want to see. We might see the boat chapter, for example. I mean, Sam's got it right. Why not just enjoy both on our own merits? Exactly. I think.
Yeah.
From what we've seen and what we've heard, it's sticking to the Shenmue route. Yes, there's going to be differences, but there's always going to be in an anime. I think it's just a case of how good it's going to be, in my view. I don't think we've got anything to worry about. I just think, how good is it going to be? That's my only concern now.
It's going to be good. It's the catering to
everyone,
fans, obviously, and Shenmue fans by adding in new things and different things. We can be excited that it's not just going to be another retelling of the same games that we've been playing for the last 20 years. There's going to be some exciting, deep lore in there. We know Yu Suzuki's heavily involved, and they've gone into the old sort of documents, those scripts and stuff like that. So they've probably taken elements from that, added some elements in there as well, things that never made the game. Like, I hope we see the boat chapter as well and that sort of stuff. I think that would be a Shenmue fan's dream, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that sort of stuff. There's, in my view, unless the anime is terrible, which it won't be, judging on what we've seen. You can't lose. You can't lose. They're using the source material. They're adding some stuff in. Yes, they're going to have to be they're going to have to make some changes because they have to, because it's not going to translate over game to anime, one-to-one. It just can't. Bring it on. Just bring it on.
Yeah.
Give me more. Give me more. Give me merch. Give me Blu-rays. Give me the bloody lot.
There is real potential to reignite the series, really.
Massive potential. Massive potential in it.
That's a good thing as well. Like BCDC says, the people that have, gave feedback on the anime that have never played the games, these people that are saying like they want to play the games now, or they've never been interested in playing the games, but this looks incredible. Would it be in the cards for Adult Swim games? Adult Swim games, because there is, I think there is. They do make some games, actually, don't they?
Possibly.
To come in and publish them before.
I mean,
there is talk of the writers for the anime possibly being
one of the storyboarders for Shenmue 3 is working on the anime. I can't remember his name.
Because we were considering like if the anime team ends up coming on board for the game and using their storytelling finesse to write Shenmue 4 story, and
it could be really good, really good. It'd be excellent, in fact. It is an amazing time to be a Shenmue fan. We're getting content, we're getting new stuff. I
think next year is the year, isn't it, really, because the anime is releasing. It's going to be a good way of gauging where the series is going to be. The end of next year, this time next year, when the dojo is 22, let's all reconvene and let's discuss how the year's actually gone. Whether there's more chance of getting to Shenmue 4 now.
Take care, runners.
That's going to be crazy. A year from now, we're going to have seen all 13 episodes of the anime. We could have had a Shenmue 4 announcement.
Hey Shenson, good to see you. Friends over on YouTube, thanks for the sub.
Take care, runners, by the way. See you later.
Right, I'm going to have to cave and go to the loo. I'll be back.
Okay, dude.
Oh, if I can get out of my little office space.
Band backup. Have you just come in the chat, or? Oh, okay. I didn't recognise the name. Yeah, the year is Shenmue Noon. we'll see where it goes, see where things take us this time next year, like I say. Hey up, Shanson, how you doing, mate? You've missed quite a good chat about, obviously, all things Shenmue. Discussing the dojo and history. Yeah, I'd say so, mate. Yeah, that's true. I think they did in the end. Was that Toe Jam and Earl game actually released under Adult Swim? I think it was, right? Toe Jam and Earl back in the groove. I think it was Adult Swim games. Obviously, whoever's involved in like Adult Swim and stuff, maybe this Jason DeMarco, he's got sort of like roots back to Sega, and seems to be like a Shenmue fan, Sega fan at heart. Okay, it says Human Nature Studios. I'm sure Adult Swim were involved in that, right? At one point I recall, Adult Swim games were publishing another Sega franchise before they abruptly dropped support months before the game's release.
Oh. There we go. That's better.
It was not under Adult Swim games, okay. That's interesting, man. Wonder what happened there. Is anyone getting promoted adverts on Twitter for a musical called Shen Yun? It's like a classical Chinese dance company. No, can't say I am, Peter. No, Son is, obviously.
To be fair, we need a Jet Set Radio 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. There is games out there that it's just insane that they've never had a sequel for this long. Again, Shenmue's quite lucky, I guess, in that sense that we have. I know it took 15 years, but even stuff like Streets of Rage 4, that was 20 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a long time. And Virtua Fighter took a bloody long time as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's having a look on the chat again. Jedi Knight 66. Do you think unidentified Chi needs to be more powerful, Landy? It's possible. And welcome to the stream and the dojo.
Yeah, man. Shan, so much think for a bit of a London meetup? Go to that show.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Shen Yun.
What's that? Is that... He's making that spiritual... Is it Team Reptile or something making that cyberpunk game or whatever?
Funk.
That's it.
Yeah. Spags. The last 4 years we've had Shenmue 1 and 2, Shenmue 3 and the Shenmue anime.
It's not bad, is it?
The series is dead, apparently.
Yeah. Dead franchise, apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
London meetup, yeah, it was a good one. That was bloody hell, that's 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was ace, mate. Yeah.
That's 2 years ago-ish.
Did we do it before Shenmue 3 was released?
Just before Shenmue 3 was released.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah. Really good fun that was. I know we couldn't get like the sound to work properly, but we had some good stuff there. Exclusive messages from Corey and Eric. That was like one of my proudest things actually at the time.
Let's go for a protest in front of Sega Europe. Just rushed the building.
Yeah, I mean these things like that have happened throughout the years, like the capsule toy thing that we sent to the Sega Japan offices just on the doorstep, like a million capsule toys.
Bleach.
Someone did. There's no one doing that sort of stuff anymore. There is these big like community. Maybe we should organise something.
Get an event going in the new year. London meetup. Go to some arcades.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Mate.
Won't be quite as formally set up as the last one we did, but just get to London, go to some arcades, get pissed.
Like rent out one of those 4 quarters things. You know, the one that's like an actual outrun machine.
You can rent them. I'm pretty sure you can rent spaces like for the evening or whatever, or like booths or whatever, and you can do what you need. Do what you want.
So that'd be pretty cool.
It's something to look into.
Well, that one we went to, they only had one Dreamcast set up, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was thinking it'd be cool if there was like 20 Dreamcast set up, all with Shenmue, and the arcade machines with Outrun and stuff. I'm not sure, Sean, to be honest, mate. I just think all these little things that the fans were doing, you could say actually did change some minds at some point, because we got Shenmue 3 in the end.
MCM Comic Con in... Oh yeah, I know that. I think me and the missus are debating going in May actually next year to Comic Con. We see who's there actually, but if I go, I'll try and grab you.
Yeah, BCDC, that was a cool place. Matt picked that place, didn't you?
That was on Scribe's recommendation. That was.
What was it? The Four Thieves or something?
Yeah, everybody's allowed, Peter. Everybody's allowed.
Yeah, that was a cool atmosphere actually. Nice big screen, big tables.
Cool Cyclone time. I don't actually have it on this save, so I'm just going to try and front kick him in the face a lot.
A lot of blocking.
Yeah, to be brutally honest, if I get ass kicked, I get ass kicked. This save's just a random save.
PCDC's never done it. It says, can you try and do it? When did you last save?
I'm not too worried about the save, it's more the fact that the moves aren't trained up properly.
Yeah, but to be fair, I've done it before where I've saved, I've ran into the antique shop and got the Crawl Cyclone, and it's still more than effective because he just can't get up, can he? Sometimes. I read Stoke then, Peter, and I was thinking, where's that in Stoke?
Oh.
Nice. Let's make sure Matt's got his full focus on this.
I can't fucking... There we go, that's a bit better. I just need to get around the other side, so I've got the camera with me. I don't mind taking the hit there. There we are. He can eat a knee in the face.
Right, trying to get your health back up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, does Chai's health regen a little bit like yours does? Or
does, but I don't think it regens as quickly.
You're doing okay, actually. I don't want to jinx it, but...
So far, it's alright.
Considering you've not got the Cyclone. Ah.
Bastard. I needed that.
Yeah, I love that parry where you parry and then punch.
I'm about to lose this, I reckon. Yeah. Damn. That's what I get for not training moves.
Lucky dude. Did alright, to be fair.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Yeah, if I had my moves trained.
Oh yeah, Shenson. Like it's that easy. Just spam the parry button and tap him. And then attack.
That's alright, it's not a problem.
Band back up. Big things coming in 2022. That's all I can say for now. Peace. Okay, who the fuck are you? Is it you, Suzuki?
Trolling us. It could be Joel.
Just dropped in the stream. Yeah.
Joel from Wisenet. Hey, Joel.
Yeah, man. That video game show, let me link that. Video game show.
me just...
This is a cool channel, guys, if you want to subscribe to that. Video game show. Some good general gaming videos on all different consoles.
Right. He's teasing it in 2022. Cedric's going to drop another 1, 2, 3, 4 tweet and say absolutely. Oh, yeah. Damn. Well, we know Wisenet are working. They're doing something. I don't know what, but they're doing something. They're definitely working. They've got a full-time staff there. Right. We're going to do this QTE and cutscene, and then I'm going to call it a night.
Oi. どういうことだ。待て。
No worries, man.
No.
Yeah. Peter Wilson. London meet up the weekend after Shenmue 4 gets announced.
It'd be mental.
Don't do that, to be fair. Yeah.
There we go.
チケットをよこせ。ふざけるな。
Yeah, if Shenmue 4 gets announced, I'll try and go to as many as I can get to, as long as money allows.
Yeah, same here, man. That's the plan. We haven't had a Magic again. I think Cedric actually put a tweet or something out the other day.
It got cancelled 2022.
Says, yeah, cancelled again for COVID and that sort of stuff. So that's the thing. I mean, with Cedric obviously being co-producer or whatever he is, could things be on hold because of this sort of stuff as well? Does he want to reveal stuff at his own show, Magic? You know,
I mean,
got intentions of announcing Shenmue 4, but
it could be Magic 2023. Makes sense. It could happen.
It'd have to be when it is now. You know, you can't do 2022 anymore. So.
Shenmue fan at my work told me Shenmue 4 is definitely production, so it must be true. I'd like to know his source. Yeah, so would I.
Nice.
Names, addresses, telephone numbers.
He works for Wisenet, does he?
Transition from Unreal 4 to 5 seems fairly seamless. I'd imagine Wisenet have been playing with that sort of stuff.
What's the chances of like Shenmue 3 being re-released?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not like a Shenmue PS5 version or something.
No, because I mean it's uncapped 60 FPS on PS5. That'll do it.
Yeah. So there's no real reason. Yeah. And to be fair, the limited run games complete edition thing, that's PS4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although, if you think like if they'd announced that now, do you think they'd be doing it in a PS5 box? Just because it was like
possibly
a year ago or whatever.
Possibly. Retro Gaming Systems Collectioner, thank you. Thank you for dropping by as well.
Cheers, buddy.
Right. I think I'm going to wish they'd put Shenmue 3 on Xbox still. Yeah, well, we'll make some noise, but we don't know the deals that have gone on there, so we'll just have to see what's happened. I'd pay limited run games for a slipcover. Right, let's get him to the harbour, then I'm going to have to call it a night.
Nothing to give away today, man?
No, not tonight. However, on Friday we do have a small one. Little something to give away. Come on, bus. Come on, bus. Damn it, bus. Filmed. If you want to see some of the environments, Spags is doing some shots of the environments in Shenmue 3, and they look bloody amazing. Walk to the harbour.
Tweet.
Did I get Balan
Was it last
Wonderworld
night?
yet? I did. It's actually in my shelf.
Oh,
I
did you,
haven't.
mate?
I haven't played it. I haven't played it yet.
Okay, now.
It turned
That's
out
another game we've convinced someone to buy.
that it was a few streams
These
ago.
streams.
A few streams ago, wasn't it? We were talking about
Yeah.
it. It was like a £5, so I grabbed it. Yeah, it's in my shelf. I haven't played it yet. I need to.
I think you'll enjoy it, mate, to be honest, because you're from that Saturn era. I think you'll appreciate what they're trying to do.
I have a question for
What's
Shenmue.
doing? Oh, yeah.
Following the Panzer Dragon
Spags did
Saga
this
remake.
tweet,
Oh,
actually,
no.
the other day.
Jade Empire. Yes, I am meaning to play that at some point. I need to get an emulator and play it.
See, we've done a load of tweets last
Busy.
day. Very busy. That one in particular, I was saying, that is one of Spags' like 4K shots, I think, right?
Yeah.
Look at that, Barley Village. It looks unreal.
I haven't seen the Panzer Dragon Saga remake. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. But I know of it.
Yeah, I could see that happening as well, to be honest. There was the GDC talk from a couple of years ago where the devs on Panzer Dragon Saga were saying like they found the source code and stuff.
Because for years
So-
it was considered it was lost. Right.
I reckon they're just doing it in order, that's all. They've got the first game's already out in it remake, then they've got Zwei coming soon,
Yeah.
and I just think after that Saga is probably on the cards, inevitable, right?
You'd think so.
Possibly.
It makes sense to do it that way, wouldn't it?
That'd be a good. I'd like to see the reaction to people on that if Saga got remade, because that's like one of the, touted RPGs of, of our generation. But there's a lot of people that have heard about it.
Watch the price
never
of
been
the
up to
Saturn
it.
version go through the roof again. If that comes out.
I paid £200 for mine.
It's not bad now. It's about 400 these
Good
days,
price,
isn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Right. I think we're going to
It's
call
still
it.
coming, that is, Samian. I think someone said, I think it was Megavisions, they'd noticed that it's coming out in the first quarter 2022 now. I think it's been delayed slightly.
Right.
But yeah, sorry, Matt.
I'm going to call things there for tonight, as we've been going about 2.5 hours. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's turned up for the 21st anniversary or birthday of the Shenmue Dojo. I can't believe 21 years, man. It's gone. Seems like yesterday.
Yeah, just hats off to everyone that's shown up tonight, but it's been a part of the dojo for the last 21 years.
And that's
it sounds like I'm putting an end to this to the dojo now. I'm just saying we're just getting started, guys, and I just appreciate everyone.
Lots to come. I mean, thank you to all the previous owners, people that have worked with us, Sega, Cedric, WiseNet, Deep Silver, everybody that's worked with Ryan, Peyton, everybody that's worked with us, been interviewed by us, taken the time to to just be part of the community. Thanks to everyone. Thanks, Titch.
Thanks, everyone.
We are back on Friday because we are celebrating the second anniversary of the Shenmue 3 release on PC and PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
So that'll be about 8:30.
There, guys.
8:30 start on Friday. Make sure you're there. I'll be putting out ads as we go. Oh, I want to know where you guys got your shirts. These are the old Sega shirts that they released a couple of years ago.
That's the same line, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if you can still get them, but have a look on Sega Shop. There might be some there if you're looking for some anyway. Anyway, guys, get your saxophones out in true Shenmue Dojo tradition. It's our birthday, so make a special effort, and we will see you all again on Friday evening. Take it easy, everyone. Take care, James, and see you soon.
Cheers, guys. Draw.
つながるほど潮の香り運ぶよ愛しさが優しい嘘つかせる前に寂しさを今抱いてほしいのに I wish you were always be here with me いくつの夜を越えても込み上げる切なさは行くあてもないままで Don't leave me alone till morning still we see この胸は揺れてるけどまだ帰りたくない星が消えるまでもう少し巡る季節の中で流されそうになった時もきっとこの気持ちだけ甘い香り残すよ背中から聞いたこと泣きたく